So when I was watching YouTube videos, the guys that were fortunate enough to go to New York Toy Fair last year, or this year, I guess it would be, and I was seeing all the new toys coming out, I was like, man, there's some really cool stuff. And then they went to the Jurassic Park, and I was like, wow, like, I got in Jurassic Park when it first came out. I thought they did some cool stuff with the big play set, stuff like that. And then like the last movie, I just wasn't really feeling the toys. And then I saw the toys coming out this year, and I was like, man, they're really stepping up their toy game. Yes, they're just a bunch of dinosaurs, but it's almost like they made collecting fun again, like action figures fun again. We'll go over, I didn't get the whole set. I just got a few of my favorites. I am going to get a few more as they come out. There's definitely a few pieces that I don't think are out yet, or they might be out later on. So we're going to go ahead and start with Blue. Just a little one. I just needed a Blue in my collection. He doesn't really do much. He's not anything to brag about, but he's a toy that I definitely wanted in my collection. Then you have Owen with Baby Blue. Basically, their action figures, at least this one, they're not that good. Like you take a Star Wars 3 3/4, I think they're done really well. These, however, not so much. And then you got some dinosaurs. I'm not even gonna mess with the names, at least right now, because I know I'm gonna trash them. Allosaurus, I'll do a few of them. They have little action. Some of them make sounds. We'll check them out. Then you have another one. He also opens his mouth, pretty cool. I think this is like one of the made up ones, one with horns or something on it. We'll check him out. And like when I was picking and choosing, like going through all the toys, I was like, man, they've got some really cool stuff here. You got the big giant guy that eats the shark. Like this thing, when I saw this, I was like, wow, that thing is pretty cool. And this time around, it seems like they tried to go with a certain scale, like they almost did them pretty in scale. So this thing is definitely cool. It'd be nice if they had like a little shark that you could eat or something. I don't think it comes with that. We need to put him together and check him out. And then you have this Gyrosphere. Like this thing it just says fun. It's just a cool toy. Like when we collect all these action figures and it just goes from like Marvel Legends to Mezco to NECA and it's just like it's the same. And then you get a movie like Star Wars, and then they break up the madness a little bit. They like do like a big thing where they put out a few toys and usually disappointed. But then you got like some cool ships, a couple monsters. It mixes up the just the day-to-day collecting. Like it's something a little bit different, and that's what Jurassic Park did. They kind of like they made it fun to go out and get something a little bit different. Like get something, because I know that all you guys are gonna get the next set of Marvel Legends. I know that all you guys are gonna get that next Mezco. So it's nice to get something a little different. You know, I already got a Jurassic Park thing. We'll go up there and at the end of the video show that to you. You know, just get something a little different. And I know a lot of you guys do like wrestling figures and other figures that I don't collect. This is just something to kind of like make my action figure room stand out a little bit. Then they got the T-Rex, and this thing, I was gonna pass on this because I just wanted to get the big one. Then I saw how cool this thing was and how it moves, and I was like, God, like that's just an amazing toy. It's just something really fun to have in the toy room. And then apparently size does matter. At least that's what my wife tells me all the time. So they had this big giant T-Rex, and I saw this, and I was just going, God, this is just such an amazing toy. I was gonna buy just this and just stop, and then I started looking at it and was like, well, I'll get another one, and I'm probably gonna get a couple more. But I saw this and I was like, God, I just have to have this in my toy room. But since I bought this little T-Rex, I'm thinking I gotta throw a shout out to my boy Brock and see if he can't paint this thing red for a devil dinosaur, because you know that Marvel Legends will never make a devil dinosaur. So this would be a perfect one if you just painted it red, and I think he's good to go. Let's check these things out. Alright, we're just going to start right off with the big T-Rex. First off, this thing is about 42 inches long. Like, that thing is crazy. You know, the job of sail barge is going to be like 48, so that thing's going to be even bigger than this thing. And as far as the height go, it kind of depends on how you stand them. Like, you can raise them up a little higher or lower, so it's hard to say. He's about 16 inches tall the way I have him right now. As far as this thing goes, like, I walked in the store, I knew this thing was coming, I was really looking forward to it. This has the battle damage one. Now, apparently the battle damage one is exclusive to Walmart. I didn't know this at the time. And it was $50. And if I went in Target today and they have the same exact thing without the scratches on it, the non-battle damage for $55. So the Target one, I don't know. I didn't really want the battle damage. I don't really like the battle damage. He does have scratches on him. The other one has scratches on him. They're just not painted. But hopefully someday this whole thing is going to be painted red, and I'll have a devil dinosaur, and that will be amazing in my Marvel Legends collection. So I went ahead and pulled out a couple Marvel Legends right here for a size comparison, because this thing is way out of scale for the 3 3/4 line. It's just way too big. But when you walk in, you see this thing, it's $50 or $55 if you get it at Target. Who knows, it might go on sale, it might not. He was just like a must-have to me. As far as what this thing does, basically his mouth opens and closes, and he growls when you do it. Try it. And then he also eats figures. You can like put like a figure in his mouth, and it will go down to his belly, and then you can open his belly down here, and then get the figure out. So, cool little feature. I mean, they didn't have to do that. I think that it's nice. I like that he growls. I'm not real sure if the Target exclusive growls and eats figures. Probably, most likely. I don't know. I didn't buy it with that one. I got this one. My buddy got it. I'll ask him about it. Then when you ask me, I'll actually know. But here he is. The legs move, so you can kind of like stand him up like this. The arms move. It doesn't seem like they're on a ball. They just go up and down. And then the top jaw also moves. But this thing, for a $50 toy, like, this thing is just amazing. Like, this is like the same price as like a Marvel Legends 2-pack, and then you get all this. And like I said, he's way too big for the Jurassic World set, but if you guys ever want a devil dinosaur, this would be the way to go to get it. Alright, now we have the remote control Rc Gyrosphere. They do have a few different ones of these. I figured this was my favorite one. I actually really like the one I saw at Target today. It actually has like the cracked glass. It's not broken. It just looks like it's cracked on like on the top of it. Then the bottom's good. You put real action figures inside of it, and then you just roll it across the floor. And it's a little bit smaller than this one. I'm not gonna get them both. I figured I'd just get my favorite one. And if you're gonna get an RC one, like, of course that's gonna be my favorite one, because the play value of this thing is just really cool. Basically, how this thing works, this little dome, you twist it. You take this thing out, he comes with this really horrible action figure that's like a PVC, and he's hollow. That just really sucks. But you can put the regular action figures inside of it. They do fit. It's got little foot pegs in here, so you can like clamp them down. I'll go ahead and try to do that on camera, I guess. Just give me a minute. It's hard to... Yep, definitely probably should have did this. You know what? Alright, so I got him in the car. He does fit. He's got little foot pegs in there. I highly recommend that you plug him in, because this thing gets a little wild when you drive it around the floor. You drop this thing back in there, you turn it on and off. You can leave it turned on, and then it just kind of goes into sleep mode. And pop the lid back on. You gotta line up these arrows, or at least I thought you did. Hold on. Try this again. Okay, line up the arrows. Should be locked in there. I think you just tap it and that unlocks it. Let's watch this thing go across the toy room floor. Okay, so I got him here in the ball. This is what the controller looks like. Basically, all this does is go like forward, and it turns in one direction. It would be cool if it did turn another direction for when you want him to do a corner to the left. He doesn't have to make a 360 to the right. But whatever, it's still pretty cool. I'm going to drop this down, and you're going to see how this thing works. Alright, see how like kind of went to the right? Now you gotta like spin it around. It's a little easier to operate when you're not looking through the camera. Maybe I'll just watch this thing instead of looking through the camera. So there it is, full speed. That's wide open right there. Let me turn him around. And get him going down there. It kind of looks like a gerbil, one of those old school balls. I guess you guys probably have never seen one of those. But here he is. Really a cool toy. I thought this thing was really cool in the movie. I'm sure everybody'd like to take a ride through in that thing through Dinosaur Land. At least I know I would. There it is. Let's get to the next thing. Alright, then up next we got this T-Rex, and this is the Stomp and Thrash T-Rex. They do make a few different T-Rexes. They make another one that looks pretty much exactly like this one, but I think he does less. And then when if you're gonna buy these, like, you know, like, remember Walmart has some stuff, and then Target has some other stuff that's slightly different. So you might want to shop around or whatever and like see which ones that you do. And this thing's like really, it all articulates from the tail. Of course, I'm gonna show you how it works. It looks really cool. It's kind of weird looking here, how his head comes out of his neck. That kind of looks like you're peeling back the foreskin. It's just kind of weird, but it looks cool. So sorry about putting that visual in your head, because now I'm having a hard time getting it out. Let's go ahead and check him out and see what he does. I'm going to try to attempt to make him pick up this dinosaur right here. Let me get him in the camera. And then you work him with his tail. You kind of hold him here, and he can like thrash back and forth, open up this way. God, that was awesome. And then back on the bottom of his foot right here, that's his Stomp sensor. And if you scan this, I already got that little app for it. You can scan this thing on your phone. It tells you a little bit about the dinosaur. I was going to show that in the video, but the thing really wasn't that cool. So, I don't know, maybe if you're a kid, that would be something that would appeal to you. But not me. What appealed to me is the fact that he can hit this dinosaur. I'm going to go ahead and try to do this on the first attempt. You put the tail up, which brings the head down. He bites him, and then you're supposed to like thrash him around. Damn, well, I was hoping for a little bit better result. Bite him. You know, I think you're supposed to do an action figure with this thing. Yeah, this isn't really working out. We'll try it one more time, because I already got that action figure locked in that sphere, or that wheel, the hamster wheel. Alright, pick the tail up. Pick it up. Man, I'm just, you know what, I should probably practice this thing first. Either way, here he is. He's pretty cool. Play with him. He does work. You can't get him to thrash that thing around in there. The detail on this thing is amazing. The sculpt, he does have a little battle damage. Thank God they didn't paint that red. Maybe, who knows, on the Target exclusive one they did. I got all this stuff at Walmart. Really cool toy. Pick the tail up, head goes down. And then the tail down, head goes up, growls. And then he stomps. That thing is just really cool. I have the original OG T-Rex from the very first movie, so you can imagine how old this one is for kind of like a size comparison. Let me get the camera up a little bit. So the original one was actually bigger than this one, which I think I think this scale is good. It'd be nice if he was a little bit bigger. This old school one, like, he's basically all rubber. He used to growl. You kind of squeeze him, and then his jaw moves. He was definitely a cool toy at the time on this Jurassic line stuff. Like, when it first came out. Like I wanted to buy it, didn't buy it, and then like that was like back in the KB toy days. All this stuff went on like 50% clearance, and I went ahead and bought the whole entire set. And I haven't really bought any of the movies in between because I didn't think the toys were that great, or they were basically just repeats of dinosaurs that I already had. And so when this movie came out, the Jurassic World, it was once again, I just kind of got dinosaurs that didn't look like ones that I already had in my collection, because I already have a few, which I'll show you that at the end of the video. As far as the rest of these dinosaurs go, we'll get the T-Rex out of here. I guess we'll leave him up there for kind of like a little bit of a scale thing. Here's Blue, the Raptor. He has this battle damage thing, this option, so you kind of like flick that down. You can see his sides. Articulation on this thing, the jaw does move. That's pretty cool. The head moves. I didn't have a Blue, so I figured this would be the one that I'd get. They actually had a few different ones to choose from. They got tons of different ones to choose from. The legs move. The arms go up and down. They kind of like have a ball joint on them. Definitely digging that. I'll go ahead and attempt to set him right next to the T-Rex just for a kind of a size comparison. And then the rest of these dinosaurs, I already put the package away, so as far as their name goes, good luck. Basically, just look at the beginning of the video and track that down. I just got the ones that I thought looked cool, and they didn't look like ones that I already had in my collection. So these things, a lot of them they'll have an action, or they'll have sound, or they'll have both. And I think he was like, the T-Rex was like 30 bucks. The ball, the gerbil wheel, this thing was like 35 bucks, which I thought was a really good deal. I think he was like $6 or something. I can't remember the price point on these. These are either $10 or $15 each. I don't think they were that expensive, and I thought they were really cool. So basically, you push the hidden button here on his back. So that's what he does. He kind of growls, kind of chomps. Pretty cool. Just the jaw moves on this particular one, and the hands are also, the arms are kind of also on a ball. Nothing at the elbow, which is cool because it's nice and clean. Same articulation on the legs, and the tails clip in so they don't really move. I'll go ahead and attempt to get him standing. And you have this one, the one with the horns, which I thought he was really cool because I didn't have the one with the horns, so I figure I definitely needed him. Plus those tiny little baby arms are just so ridiculously cute. Like, I just had to. So this one doesn't make sound, but he has more movement than the other one, so I figured they called it good. The head snap on this thing is ridiculous. Like the neck moves, the head goes down, the jaw opens. Really cool on that. Like, I saw that and I was like, yep, I need that one. And there's more dinosaurs coming out in the fall, which I'm definitely going to pick a couple of those up. I haven't seen them out yet, so I'm assuming that's like the fall release. I guess they're going to do a whole nother dinosaur release when the DVD comes out. As far as the rest of the articulation goes, little baby arms do move. Not much, because there's really not much to move there. Like, what does he do with those? Could you imagine trying to wipe your ass with those things? Like, good luck. That is just not gonna happen. And then the tail on this thing, it's on a ball here. It looks pretty clean. These are like hard plastic. This one is also hard plastic. Some of them have like some soft rubber on them, but these particular ones don't. I'm almost wrapped up here. This is the baby Blue Raptor, which I don't know if he'll even stand. Maybe he will, maybe he won't. He actually comes with this guy that I have in the ball, which I'm going to get a few more human characters. I just haven't really seen the ones that I want. Then you have another dinosaur that's real similar to the first one, but it was also one that I didn't have in my collection. This one also. So basically the jaw just moves up and down, makes a couple different growling sounds and like a snapping sound. I mean, they're dinosaurs, dude. Like, who doesn't like dinosaurs? And then like my favorite one in the set, I'll probably have to hold the camera back, was this big giant like thing that the Monosaurus or Mosasaurus or whatever. Basically, if you want to say a dinosaur's name, you just pick any letter in the alphabet and put it in the front of Saurus, and there you go. So here he is for a size comparison. You can see that this thing is massive, really cool. His jaw opens and closes. That's about all that he does. You can't put figures in his mouth because if you did, then you couldn't get him out. So there's the inside of the mouth. Definitely digging that. His flippers move, and then they clip on fairly easy. Just make sure that you got them going the right direction. The first time I tried to clip them on, they were like spun around, and I was like, couldn't get them on, so I spun the flipper around, clipped them right in, then spun the flipper around. So these things move. This toy is waterproof, and this whole entire toy is like a soft rubber. Like you can squeeze them, which is cool, but then it's kind of cool because it just kind of feels like one of those like things that you get at like SeaWorld or whatever. But he looks really cool, and I saw that as soon as I saw that in the movie. They made that little crappy one that nobody bought. And then they made this one that's like almost kind of in scale with the line. Like you see these toys like in scale. Like if you put them all together, like I'm really digging it. That's basically my haul, at least for now. I am going to pick up a few more of these as time goes by. I might wait till the fall release. And if this stuff goes on clearance, then I'm probably going to buy a ton more of this because they're dinosaurs. Dinosaurs are awesome. Now let me show you my Jurassic Park collection and playset and all that. Okay, so here's my Jurassic Park / Jurassic World collection. Now, I did, like this thing is like old. Like back in the day they had this big giant playset, which I thought this thing was just really amazing. Plus it was like probably like 75% off or something. Like I probably bought this whole entire playset for like 20 bucks or something. The Jeeps were cheap. Like I just basically went in there and bought everything that they had on clearance. It was something that I would have bought, but it was kind of expensive. I didn't have a lot of money at the time. And then when it went on clearance, I was like, God, I gotta get this stuff. It's dinosaurs. Like, who doesn't like dinosaurs? Like, could you imagine being a kid growing up and like, you know you're spoiled if you don't like dinosaurs, because now you got all kinds of cool stuff like monsters and all this. Like back in the day when I was a kid, like it was dinosaurs. Like we started off with dinosaurs. Like dinosaurs were like what was cool. Here's the back side of the playset. I got the spear thing right here. I'm not going to keep it up here. I'm going to keep this thing on my desk for a little bit, at least where I can play with it. But you can see kind of the inside of that thing. I'm going to have to get down off this ladder and then show you the other side. All right, then here's the other side of it. Like that thing, God, look at that. Like that is an amazing playset. Like, got all the figures up there. I'm really digging that. Comes with this little capture net over here. Here's some of the new additions. And then inside of this big corral, this cage, this is just kind of like where I have all the old ones. So I already got like a Triclops, the one with the spikes going down his back. I forget his name, but that's a new one that just came out. But I was like, man, I kind of pretty much already have that. And that thing was like 20 bucks. So I figured I could probably pass on that one at least. And then over here, here's the new T-Rex with the old T-Rex. Then the big giant T-Rex. But hopefully this thing's going to go down to the Marvel shelf someday. And then you have the Monosaurus. Hope I'm saying that right. If not, I'm sure you're going to let me know. That thing, God, that thing just looks so cool in the toy room. Like, take a break from Marvel Legends, take a break from Mattel, take a break, like, just from your basic superhero grind of collecting and do something fun in this Jurassic World part. Man, they killed it with this one. I didn't really care for the toys in the last movie, but this go around, they're really killing it. And the fall release, I'm definitely looking forward to some more of those. All right, there's the collection. There's the haul. Thanks for watching.